between Tottenham Hotspurs and Liverpool Reds, officiated by the PGMOL Pussios, we saw everything wrong with the refereeing in England, from yellow cards for non-fouls to offside lines that we're apparently supposed to imagine, and of course, tying the bow of the shit package with a nice little apology. We experienced an unprecedented level of incompetence, not only from the on-field decisions, but even in the communication after the fact of what went wrong. Stay till the end of the video. We're gonna play a game.
We get a preview of the pictures up on the gantry, and we get the actual commentary from the VAR officials to the referee, and you all of a sudden, like, check complete, like, what? No lines, it was so quick.
See, they first confirmed that the significant error was due to VAR not intervening, but in fact, they had intervened, and they still managed to fuck it up. Basically, the on-field referee, Simon Hooper, sees the flag for offside and meanwhile hears in his ear check complete. But what was actually happening is that VAR knew that it was most probably onside, and when they said check complete, they meant check complete, that it's onside. But Simon Hooper was seeing the flag raised, and to him, check complete meant check complete, it's offside. And the error being that VAR never confirmed what they were checking for, and I think this tweet perfectly sums it up. The assistant wrongly flags for offside, VAR wrongly thinks that the goal's been awarded, and then wrongly tells Simon Hooper to stick with the decision, not knowing that the decision was offside. Truly, truly incredible. And it would be one thing if this offside goal was the only contentious decision. Actually, fuck it, I'm not calling it contentious, I'm calling it idiotic. But the fact that there was a yellow card to Diogo Jota for simply being in the vicinity of another player. What is this? A yellow card for violating restraining order? Why can't Jota ask for review? Or better yet, why can't VAR just step in anyway? Are they in the video review room to not review video? I don't get it. How could you not refer to the video replay? You're telling me a control room full of employees with multi-million-dollar gadgets at their disposal have to respect the on-field referee's authority over their own. Imagine air traffic control asking the pilot, "Hey bud, is the sky clear? Alright, you're good to take off then. Just remember to look both ways."
Collision.
You're all just cogs. Why does there need to be such a dick measuring contest about whose opinion matters more and when? No wonder some checks take so long. They have to be done playing with the tape to even look at the tape. But today, Simon knew he was beat. And look, it might be for a restraining order. Alright, we don't know. We can't discount that. Jota might have a unexplained habit of taking pictures of African men sleeping, and Udogie happened to be the first one to actually just come out about it. We don't know. And if that's the case, then I hope more people come forward with their story. But then it has to be a straight red. They purposely introduced limitations on what can be rolled back on and what can't. And on top of that was the straight red card for Curtis Jones. People like, for once, had something substantial to say.
Yes, he collides with Basuma, and it doesn't look as if it's a great challenge, but when you see it, and if you played the game, you know he's sort of stretching, so there's not a lot of force into it. He gets on top of the ball, and of course with his momentum, his foot is always going to go onto the ball and over the ball. There's the still for Simon Hooper, which of course you shouldn't have a still like that. He's probably having it in his ear that he thinks it's a red card. If that's the still for the referee's first judgment, I mean, I think that's terrible as well, I really do.
They think VAR is about creating instant thumbnails and providing it to the on-field referees. Oh my god, you wouldn't believe this. The fact that they went straight to that freeze frame kind of ruins the whole unbiased nature of a video review, when in fact the clip should be replayed in regular speed. Allow the referee to see it once or twice, and at the end, maybe end on the freeze frame as you close in on the point of contact. All I can say is, it's genuinely disheartening to be saddled with this members-only group of clowns in what is, in my opinion, the best league in the world. A group, by the way, that Liverpool are considering suing, or at least that's what this statement makes it seem like. We fully accept the pressures that match officials work under, but these pressures are supposed to be alleviated, not exacerbated, by the existence and implementation of VAR. It is therefore unsatisfactory that sufficient time was not afforded to allow the correct decision to be made and that there was no subsequent intervention. That such failings have already been categorized as significant human error is also unacceptable. Any and all outcomes should be established only by the review and with full transparency. This is vital for the reliability of future decision making as it applies to all clubs, with learnings being used to make improvements to processes in order to ensure this kind of situation cannot occur again. In the meantime, we will explore the range of options available, given the clear need for escalation and resolution due to the sporting integrity, quote unquote, being undermined. And these goddamn statements, these acknowledgements, they're really only made to make themselves feel better. I wish that Premier League managers and football players acknowledge how rich they are and the fact that they can easily afford fine after fine and speak their mind when they're given the opportunity to do so.
No, I will not follow on that path now. That might be funny for you, but for me it's just expensive talking about these kind of things. So.
In fact, it really should come as a dare to the officiating body, and the fact that you speak out about it warrants a fine is in itself a joke. So Liverpool threatening to take action is a cue that many other clubs should follow, to have points literally robbed from you and then seeing a letter in the mail that says, oopsie, we'll hold our hands up, we'll reflect, we'll learn. Nah, you're only learning how to be more sly, you sly fuck. And why is it that we always ask them to hold their hands up? My guy, they've been holding their hands up, like the family from Parasite. But you know what they did? They eventually fought their way back and caused internal bleeding in a way that blinded the innocent party. The problem isn't that they don't hold their hands up, it's that we don't give them the bullet. So if they want to go ahead and fine you for saying how it is and to demand change and to Drogba the interview, I would say to the FA, go ahead, I dare you, put a price tag on silencing people, because the whole world will see you for exactly what it is. Whenever we go abroad in the Champions League or the World Cup, we get to see referees who are actually worth respect. And for Mike Dean to do an interview with Simon Jordan and actually try to paint out the referee experience to be disrespectful, I'm not going to argue that it's disrespectful. I'm just going to argue that it's not deserved. It's almost like creating a world-class law firm and then appointing people like this. They're not even referees in my mind anymore. When I look at them, I see a special guest referee at most, someone who runs down to the floor with their own agenda and their own to-do list from what they want out of the match. They've never been honest, have they? They saw for years and years the calls for video replay so that bad decisions wouldn't go unchecked, and they thought, well, you guys want it, don't you? Here, have some video replay, but we're gonna do it in our way. And what is their way? Clear and obvious error. What does that even mean? I'll tell you what it means. It's a means to introduce some gray area, even though we have 4K evidence.
Why not, you stupid bastard?
They have somehow managed to find the one loophole that allows them to direct the movie that's being filmed every year, season after season. They purposely limit themselves in their ability to make the right calls. You can call me a conspiracy theorist, because guess what? It is a conspiracy. There's no way there isn't a conspiracy behind the way matches are officiated. And I'm posing a theory. So yes, I am a conspiracy theorist. I'm not even a Liverpool fan, but my heart actually ached. It ached. It ached in a way that I can only compare it to the worst of my depression. I'm not saying that this is depression-inducing. I'm just saying that we're in a dark place. In fact, if we're talking about ever-changing rules to football, I would like to propose a change. I want to see us adopt something from ice hockey where you can just throw down your gloves and have a nice little fight, but the only caveat would be that you're only allowed to do this with referees. The rest of the players should form a circle that represents the octagon, and Diogo Jota and Darren England should go head to head. Give it a minute, 2 minutes. I'm sorry, I don't mean to go there. But if they refuse to move forwards, then the players and managers really have to ask themselves, do they care? And how far are they willing to go about improving the standards? I'm losing faith. It's difficult to say. The VAR should be absolutely clear and obvious with everything they're deciding on. I've seen the still back. I think on live TV, there were no lines being shown. It's all a bit strange. I don't know who was in the VAR room and making that decision, with countless others screaming corruption. We keep asking for football to come home. Have you ever thought to yourself, maybe it doesn't want to come home to the loving arms of Darren England? And I don't necessarily think that the buck stops with the on-field referees or even the video review referees. They're incompetent, just like the rest of us, but rather the lawmakers and the law implementers, the people who are in charge of the education behind the changes, and the people in charge of recruitment, because in that regards, they fail and fail and fail again. See, it's not any different to the running of any football club. You have to get the recruitment right, otherwise you're just letting your team rot. We've seen this several times in the past, especially with my club, Arsenal, but we're also seeing it today with Manchester United, and we'll probably see it a million more times in the future. Maybe there is a bigger conversation to be had about the systemic rethinking that needs to happen so that you produce talent that's able to perform. Because what is Darren doing in Dubai, man? Do you really think he got a good night's sleep from the jet lag, from the 7-hour flight, from the adrenaline that pumps through your body every time you're in charge of a game that's seen by millions of people? Who knows what calamities he made in Dubai? And let's just say he happened to be in the middle of a personal journey to become a Muslim. Hypothetical. But what if he was in the process of becoming Darren Baghdad and he happened to be fasting that day? The lack of sugar and the lack of rest makes Darren a dull boy. I know, by the tone of my voice, you can tell that I'm acting a fool. Surely, any protocol that's in place has to be foolproof.
We're feeling positive. We've got some new initiatives which obviously creating some discussion as well, but we feel that they're going to benefit the game. And of course, I'm keen to see how they bed in. Maybe these refs can't help but submit to mediocrity because of the environment they learn and work in. An entire system that doesn't actually care about being the best system, with half-baked protocols, under-equipped talent, and subpar talent development pipelines. You know what? Through this video, I think I've just convinced myself that there is no conspiracy. No. It's just a lack of management, care, and thought from above. So, like with the Glazers, Mashiri, at one point the Cronkies, even the Super League, we need to look beyond the on-field problems. The fundamentals are the same, that the organization has to have an appetite of continuous improvement. The fact that you took something as simple as offsides and decided to make it a course about AutoCAD, I'm sorry, but is it just me who seems to think that the offside rule was never about millimeters and centimeters, therefore it never was about accuracy? It's about the naked eye test, because when you do the naked eye test, everyone sees the same picture, and all we need video replay to do is to show us that picture once again for clarification. Let's play a game. I'm going to show you a picture, and you tell me if this is onside or offside, and in a couple seconds, I'll put up on screen what I think, and I bet we both think the same. So, after a thorough investigation, you can see that the evidence supports my hypothesis. We don't need grids, we don't need perspectives, we don't need accuracy, we need uniformity. They could remove this rule, they could make it about the naked eye test. But the fact is that they've already introduced it, they've already stained it. So now if they remove it, us as fans, there's always going to be doubt. Is this the right perspective? Is this the right angle? Never was supposed to be that. If someone looks on, give it onside. If someone looks off,
give it offside. If it's genuinely too close to call, then have a protocol in place to determine who gets the benefit of the doubt. If Ten Hag's being sacked, give it to Giggs. And the last point that I want to make is regarding all the calls to scrap VAR, because I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
I said get rid of VAR. It's not working. What is it about people that they don't understand that VAR doesn't work? It does not work. It can work, but the people using it...
I actually like Mark Goldbridge, but let me sum up your asinine point, because a lot of people are making it. Essentially, you're saying that while the technology is fine, the people who are implementing it are not up to it.
VAR is being used to protect the dictatorship group of the referees.
Therefore, we should stoop to their level instead of forcing a raise in standards that allows video replay to be actually utilized for the benefit of the game. And that to me makes absolutely no sense. I've never considered football fans to be the brightest bunch, and while they're slowly waking up to the reality that constantly asking for new managers is not the way to go when the board is in charge, they haven't woken up to this reality, because this is just more thinking along the same lines. Yeah, don't look to demand a raise in standards. Just make everything worse again so that we can cater to a group of people that we've already determined incompetent and we all want out. Are you dumb? And I guarantee you, if VAR is scrapped and the first incident that requires video review and we don't have it, oh my god, there is going to be an uproar. And then we're going to realize that actually the technology is not replaceable. It's the people who need to be replaced. Let me know in the comments. Do we actually get the same offside onside calls? That would be boss, my dude.